Yo, what up guys, Jetxc here. Hopefully you guys have been doing good, and I'm just going to be summarizing everything from the live stream. I've got the dev notes right here with me, and I gotta say, first off, the live stream was amazing. It was actually really good. It was really well done. I think the update overall is like a 9 out of 10. There's a lot of good stuff here, and really the direction of Browndust2 has really shown with this update. Yeah, pretty insane, but yeah. Definitely check it out. I have it right up on the YouTube channel. You can check it out. But let's kind of go over everything, and we're going to get into the costumes and their skills real quick. So we're just going to briefly go over the skills of the costumes, right? So let's do that first. So we have the first costume, which is Darian's bunny costume, right? And it basically says, in battle, she deals continuous damage over a wide AoE. Her skill has a very long cooldown, but skill cooldown will decrease proportionally to the number of targets hit. So just based off that, I think Fiend Hunt Guild Raid, she will be really, really good. Like, really good. But we'll have to see what the stats are, right? And maybe I'm reading it wrong based on what it is, but I'm assuming if she's hitting multiple tiles, then obviously that should help out, right? Now, let's keep it going. By the way, I do highly suggest everyone to go check out the cutscenes. I can't show them, but man, are they absolutely insane. We've got Shadow Bunny Elenier, and with Shadow Bunny Elenier, her skills are in battle. She grants effects that apply across the entire battlefield. She will grant buffs to allies and debuffs to enemies. So I think this is going to make Elenier a little bit more relevant. Honestly, she hasn't been that relevant, and if she's giving buffs and debuffs to enemies and then a buffs to allies, then I don't know, we might see a surge in Elenier. We'll see. Let's keep it going. Innocent Bunny Tier, our favorite thick girl here. She, in battle, her skills deal damage proportionate to SP spent, and each subsequent skill use increases the amount of SP consumed. So based on the amount of SP you use, the more damage you get. Pretty interesting. This is kind of lining up with their first costume, so we'll see how busted she'll be with this second one. Frozen Queen Wilhelmina, by the way, I gotta say, design is really solid, and Origami mentioned on the live stream that her cutscene is supposed to like represent like Browndust2 and what it stands for, and he does a really good job showing that. It's just great. I think a lot of people are really going to like her cutscene overall. It's awesome, right? So let's kind of get into it here. Wilhelmina will basically, she strikes in a straight line repeatedly and grants herself buffs. So based off the costume she has, this might be the costume where you want to use first, if depending on how powerful the buffs are, right? We'll see. Now we've got the event pack and season event pack. The event pack is pretty nice. They kind of show what the map is going to look like for the event pack. I'm not going to spoil the story, but it seems like a pretty decent story with a lot of lewd moments, as you can see by some of the images. It's going to be pretty funny too, right? And then the season event pack takes place subsequently after the event pack, and it's starring Elenier. And yeah, it is also very lewd. So we've got a rerun of the Memories Edge event. Fiend Hunter is back. We've got some new Fiend Hunt designs. We got a cute one right here. They mentioned on stream how they wanted to do like cute Fiend Hunt designs, so pretty cool. Guild Raid is coming back on the 16th, so basically when Annie starts. Here are the banners. So real quick, we went over this last time, but Darian will be coming out when 2.5 starts. Elenier will come out when 2.5 starts. We're getting Wilhelmina for free. Zenith will be out when 2.5 starts. And then Tier will start mid-December. So Tier is coming, where is she? Innocent Bunny Tier is coming December 30th. So keep that in mind. Late December, I guess. Sorry about that. And we are also doing a 1-week event for some really old male costumes that have actually never gotten a rerun. So for those of you that have multiple copies of costumes, you will be getting free, basically free tickets, man. So this is going to be pretty cool, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty hype. But yeah, they'll have those running for a week. The 1-pick selective draw is back, similar from the second anniversary, which was the summer anniversary. They also added a new gear selective draw, so that's going to be pretty cool. It's a 12-pick, so I'm assuming you'll be able to pick 12 of the gear that you want and kind of go from there. I actually do like that. Really nice touch. So real quick, Curse Celia got a cutscene update finally, as well as Rafina finally, right? And then Knight of Blood Justia is also getting a cutscene update too. She is still in the work, but the other two are definitely ready. And we saw them on stream, so definitely check that out. Also, they did add that they have loop cutscenes that will be added for 62 costumes here. So for these 62 costumes, loop cutscenes will be added. So a lot of some of the older costumes will have some looped up cutscenes. So that'll be pretty great overall. And then we've got new faded guests. By the way, I have to say this. First off, new faded guests is Eclipse. I know a lot of people are happy about that and hype. New faded guests is Eclipse, and you guys have to see this. I can't show it, but they have basically a gyro sensor where essentially when you move your iPad or your phone around, you can basically view Eclipse in like a semi 3D way, right? So they basically have a gyroscope feature in Faded Guest. So when you flip your phone forward, Eclipse falls back. When you flip your phone backwards, she falls on top of you. Insane. Like, it's insane. This update is going to be crazy lewd, and it's free, guys. So they're going to be using that gyroscope feature a lot more, and I know people are going to love it. But yeah, pretty cool to see. And Innocent Bunny Tier is also going to be the next Faded Guest. Not surprising, seeing how popular she is. And they haven't completely shown it yet. I think they're going to show it later, but yeah, she will be up and coming. The follow-up stories for Faded Guest, I didn't like this idea at first, but after seeing like the images and artwork, I actually really do like it a lot. TLDR, there will be some after stories that basically strengthen the relationships of the characters. They've already shown us this really fire artwork here of Nebris looking pretty turned on there. And then we've got Morpia and Lowin. So we'll be getting an update on those Gluppy Diner Faded Guest stories. So that's pretty cool. I actually really like the idea after kind of going through it and seeing it on live stream. So W update. Now let's keep it going. So we've got voice acting for Faded Guest for Wilhelmina and Sylvia. That will be coming very, very soon. New prestige skin Zenith. Oh my god, if you guys saw what I saw on the live stream, it's definitely fire. Zenith looks great. Her cutscene is great. Obviously, you can't see it all, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, they also showed the interaction too. Pretty great. Now, they did mention here a little content update of what's to come. So obviously, we're kind of familiar with the loadout of new Faded Guests and prestige skins, but we will have one prestige skin in December, one in January, and we are getting another actually no, it should be two Faded Guests, one prestige skin, and then another Faded Guest. I don't know why it says two prestige skins right there. I think that's a bit of a typo because they're not doing 3 prestige skins in one thing here. But actually, hang on, do they say anything? We've introduced 3 of the 5 winter types. The remaining 2 interactions are scheduled to be updated. Look forward to it. Anyway, we'll skip that for now. But okay, so the Fantasia Square. So I'm going to summarize this for you guys. This overall is a pretty great update, but it's basically a hub where you meet up with other people. It's a completely little 3D chibi area. You pick your character. You can roam around within the hub. After you choose your character, you can run around. You can make little emotes. You can dance. You can interact. You can chat. There are different channels to chat. And yeah, it's actually not that bad. I really did like it. They kind of designed the area with a Christmas theme in mind. So keep that in mind. It's pretty nice. I didn't think an update like this would be cool, but they really made it look interesting. And I think this will kind of strengthen the longevity of Browndust2. If you pray to the statue here, you get like a random reward. You have a 5% chance to get like a ticket. 50% chance to get like gold, 30% chance to get powder, basically making you get more reason to visit this place like daily. And yeah, it's designed really well. You could see the leaderboards for like Fiend Hunt, Guild Raid, Mirror Wars, and all that stuff. On top of that, like I said, you can basically go to different chat channels, and it will also auto translate for you, depending on if you click it or not. They've got emotes. And a cool thing that they're adding is fishing. Now, I'm not a fishing fan. However, I thought this was pretty cool. So there's adding for now single player fishing, and then later on they'll be adding multiplayer fishing, like co-op fishing. But yeah, it's like any other fishing game. You level up, you get the opportunity to gain more gear, probably easier to catch fish as well. There are different areas. There's like 14 fish, I think, per area. So yeah, it's a typical fishing game, right? You charge the reel to throw it, or not the reel, the rod. You throw the rod when you got it at the right amount, and then you're basically kind of matching the bar to make sure you catch the fish as easy as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They've got different sizes for fish, and bigger fish, small fish, more rarer fish. There is an easy way to like cast a net. It's basically a feature where it will farm fish for you, and you'll get a bunch of stuff that will help you fish easier. Maybe it's like bait and things like that. But yeah, it'll help add to your collection of fish, right? And a really cool thing that they added was they also have different rod types. So I'm guessing the when you get to a certain level, you have enough currency, you can get like the better rod that'll help you catch a lot of this fish. They've got like a mermaid in here. Yeah, they've got like, it looks to be a mermaid, and like other pretty cool fish designs, and you can view them all from your tank. You've got a giant fish tank. You can view normal, rare, and legendary species, including cute mermaids. So be sure to catch them all. So pretty cool. Yeah, and that concludes that. There will be balance adjustments for Elise, Anastasia, Ro, Eclipse, Morpia, Overheat, Levia, apparently. Dalvi and Angelica will be getting some new updates. So we'll see where that goes. I think Elise needs a full-on overhaul. So we'll see. What is this? Oh, Last Night. I almost forgot the name, guys. Yeah, Last Night is getting a slight update. Basically, you get like a little bit more gold the higher your points are. Yeah, shop products, you basically have more opportunity to buy more gold and refining powder. New characters coming out 2026. We have an image of one person that looks like Grenadier, because when you look at that silhouette and then you look at Grenadier, they basically have the same look. So I'm guessing she gets 2 costumes, I think, or it could be somebody different. And then this right here looks to be Onsen Ventana, obviously, and then this also looks to be somebody in an onsen. I don't know what this is. People were saying Liberta. I don't know. I've got no clue. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know, but these are going to be the January 2026 characters that will be coming out. So yeah, let me know what you guys think are going to be the ones in the silhouette. I think that'll be pretty interesting. But yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep going here. Let's move on. They show a little sneak peek, but again, we don't know who it is. And here's another sneak peek too. So some quality of life. There's a button to open up all your chests and inventory. So all those chests you've been keeping for a while, you'll be able to open those up pretty easily. They've made dailies a bit easier. The reset for field content will be changed to a weekly cycle, and the rewards will be increased to 7 times the previous amount. So essentially, when you're collecting stuff on the field, the rewards you get, do it once, and then you'll get 7 times the rewards after a week. So dailies have been made easier. Indoor finds have been removed, so special items indoors will no longer be a thing January 15th. If we keep going, the absorption button and the assemble button will be combined January 15th, thus making life easier, right? Farming easier. Fiend Hunt improvements, basically it goes up to level 20, and there's a little button to see your stats, and they will show up to 10,000th place. There is an unequip and equip feature for Fiend Hunt as well. Don't know how useful that will be. And then there's a view companion and recruitment status. So this feature will show the status of companion recruitment at the pub at a glance, as well as see the list of pub companions from anywhere in the field. Nice update, right? Let's keep going here. I do want to not make this too long for you guys. They did mention they will be looking into crit fishing. They're talking about like a basically a mode or like a feature to where it gives you like a forced crit repetition, or like a forced crit attempt. And essentially, like TLDR, if a character attacks and they don't get a crit, it's going to run it to where it's like this thing that happens over and over until the character gets a crit, right? And then after that character gets a crit, everybody else after that character will automatically crit. Also, they want to add a feature to where you could kind of have a collection for crit rate overall. Essentially, anything over 100% crit will then be added as crit damage. It'll be interesting. We'll have to see where it goes. But nothing is set in stone right now. They're thinking about January, February releasing this, but we'll have to hear more. TLDR for exclusive gear, like armor and helmet, you'll be able to change the basic stats of exclusive gear to whatever stat you want. So let's say for Rafitia, like they give an example for, you could set Rafitia's main stats to both defense or maybe both magic resist. It's up to you, right? You don't have to roll on it. You can kind of set it. Pretty cool. And then, yeah, pretty much they did mention that among top ranked characters, those without existing fated guest guest status and with connections to the anniversary story will be used in the selection criteria. So this is basically saying they're going to be using the popularity poll held during the 2.5 Annie to see who will be the next fated guest. That'll kind of help them give an idea of what they want to do. Story pack. I'm just going to briefly touch on story pack. Basically, they're doing a huge overhaul of story overall. Chapter 19 was okay, but it wasn't received the best. And they're going to be making some new moves overall when it comes to the story. So we're going to talk about it. So the future direction of the main story here. Let's get into it. In particular, our main concern was the storyline following Story Pack 20 and the improvement direction for existing Story Pack 1 and 19. To enhance character immersion, we actively considered adopting a first-person perspective to the main story. One of the issues that has been consistently raised is that, while the character designs are excellent, the interactions with the players have been insufficient. The main reason for this was actual structure issue. The player does not appear in the main story, which reduces immersion of official narrative. Although there is currently a first-person story called Gluppy Diner, it is disconnected from the main story, has a small number of linked costumes with the character, right? Considering these points, we decided to introduce a first-person perspective in the main story to reduce the distance from characters and maximizing immersion. Of course, introducing a first-person perspective alone does not automatically make the story better. The issue raised is the current story are more related to its overall quality rather than the perspective. However, we decided on this approach because first-person perspective is better suited to convey immersion and character appeal more effectively. I'll also share the thought process behind how we plan to implement the first-person perspective. The approach is for Master to naturally join the storyline after Story Pack 20, building relationships with Eustia and the other characters from the first-person perspective. Meanwhile, Story Pack 1 to 19 will be renewed while maintaining the current third-person perspective, and since all characters may have potential romantic elements with the Master, in the future, existing character pairing flags will need to be minimized as much as possible. However, there are concerns about whether it could integrate well so the Master's main narrative wouldn't feel out of place, and the fact that Story Packs 1 to 19 would need to be completed before moving to 20. The second option was just a bad option. I'm not even going to read it. They went with the first option. We also explored several other options. Among these, we decided to proceed with the first approach. The goal is to have Master naturally appear in the main storyline after Story Pack 20, connecting everything organically while incorporating the first-person narrative. Additionally, we decided to improve the system so that new players can start directly from Story Pack 20 without having to complete all previous packs. It will not be the Story Pack 20, but installment of Part 2. So it'll basically be displayed as 2-1. As mentioned earlier, the renewal of existing story packs is being carried out in collaboration with an external company. We expanded the scope of collaboration, deciding it was appropriate to view all of Part 1 from start to finish through a new perspective. So that's pretty interesting, right? And to be honest, I get why they're doing this because there's been a lot of complaints on the story, man. Previously, only packs 1 to 14 were included, but now it's 15 to 19, and the season event Going Home is also being consulted. We will continue to share progress updates for this time. So, okay, guys, let me just give you my opinion on this real quick. Story pack 19 was bad. 15 to 18 was like okay, but like there's just a lot of little things that I think they want to go back on. Because the Korean community has been like killing them from the story, and to be honest, I get it, right? Because a lot of it isn't consistent. They used the teleportation gates for everything. I get it, right? Chapter 19 was bad. I won't even get into like stores in chapter 19. Oh my god, but yes, self-insert is coming. This is something I've talked about a couple times because I felt like it was going in that direction based off the change in the game. Junhee Lee on the live stream basically said the reason for it. Originally, the game was like a JRPG fleshed out kind of story, but it's moved into this basically waifu game where there's more interactions with the girls. A lot of people are enjoying the aspects of being immersed when it comes to the female characters. Gluppy Diner is a huge hit. So it's kind of moved away from being this JRPG. They're still going to be keeping the serious elements. However, yeah, it's got to that point. Now, there's probably going to be a lot of people, I won't say a lot, some people crashing out and thinking that the story is now garbage. Again, as someone that look, every gacha game we're playing right now has self-insert characters. So if you're quitting Browndust2, you're just going to go back to your self-insert game. As long as the story's good, it'll be fine. Browndust1 had a self-insert character. Okay? Just plain and simple. If the story is good, you will read it. If you don't like it because there's a self-insert, that's completely fine. I get it. All gacha games do self-inserts. Yeah, just like all gacha games mostly have female characters. Just like a lot of gacha games do the whole flirting with the MC. Like, this is the trend. This is what's popular, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be doing a separate video to kind of go over my complete thoughts on this. But if you don't get why they're doing this, I really don't know what to tell you at this point. And if you think the story is great, that's fine. But there's, especially in Korea, there are plenty of people that want a lot of it renewed. And it's not because of male characters. It's because the story, they don't like it, right? Especially Story Pack 19. Story Pack 19 was just bad. Terrible. But I'm going to have my full thoughts in a second video. So that's pretty much it, guys. They kind of go over merch and like discounts and things like that for Browndust2. So yeah, just keep all that in mind. And yeah, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you guys think about everything. Hopefully you understood that. Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comments. I really appreciate you guys. I'm out. Later.